I'd like to know how others are doing assessments through telehealth. This is where I would love a whole bunch of people on and say, hey, how are you doing assessments? Um, and if they're aligning their goals with the DSM-5.
I personally don't do many assessments via telehealth. Um, I know that people do, and they've created, digital, ABLES stimuli or VB-MAP stimuli that you can present on a screen, and do it that way. And I know that those are available for people who do that. Sometimes they'll have parent involvement and just get the parents to probe a couple things. Sometimes it'll just be through more questionnaires, like asking parents or people who know the child really well whether or not they can do these skills. It's definitely not as easy. So kudos to all of you who are doing it.
I have to say a couple things on my end. Number one, the students we've had for a while, who we've had an assessment in person, and we just need to do a reassessment, we are doing via Zoom. And how we can do that is because these guys are getting virtual therapy, period, every day, every couple days. So we know exactly what we're programming for. We have data on their responses, everything else. So when it comes to updating an assessment, not doing a flat out new assessment, but updating their old assessment, we know what skills they've been working on and what skills they've mastered. So we actually data from what we've been working on to update the assessment that way. Um, and then we've also I've been doing some more parent coaching and doing assessments that way. So doing parent coaching and coaching parents on how to fill out the VB map themselves. What's amazing is that there's a web VB map, right? There's a web ABLES. So we can do that. I just did an assessment. I just did a web AFLS with a parent. And I just went through, shared my screen with the web AFLS and asked the parent questions about all the different sections on the AFLs. And it took us a few hours to go through. And because I'm familiar with the AFLs, I was able to give the parent some real life examples, etc. And we filled it in together. Is it 100% accurate? Probably not, because we didn't go and test every single thing. But honestly, I don't do assessments that way anyways, because I don't believe that an assessment should take a month. I think that's valuable teaching time. So I typically would go through anyway and ask parents questions and get an assessment that's probably 80 to 90% accurate. So that's another thing you can do, is just go through with the parent and do an initial assessment that way with either a web VB map, web ABLES, or web AFLs, and share the screen that way.